home. One thing you always want to pay attention to, does it have a basement or does it not have a basement? It does not. This property does not have a basement. So whenever we're running comps, we really want to be conscious of our comps of houses that have a basement or do not have a basement. One big number that I think investors should really pay attention to, a home that has a basement versus one that does not. If I had two identical units side by side, everything was the same. The home with the basement, whether it be finished or unfinished, is irregardless. If it has a basement, it would be worth $15,000 more. So if this property here, it does not have a basement, as a result, if I was to comp this to another home that's out there that had a basement, I would have to subtract $15,000 because we do not have a basement. That's kind of like, at this price level in this area, that's what the value of that basement is. So doesn't mean I don't buy houses that they all have to have basements. Sometimes if I'm buying a rental property, I prefer that they don't have a basement so I don't have any of the calls on, oh, my sump pump failed or leaks in the basement or whatever it may be. So this property's a pretty darn good play here. And the one thing that I like about this property is that it's in the Plainfield School District. So it's in 202. And has a lot of newer stuff on the exterior of the property. The interior of the property needs your pretty basic updating. It's kind of perfectly preserved again. So we find a lot of these, and I like these types of properties. As a rental, this one would definitely be something that would be of interest. So let's just take a quick little peek. Again, we're working with a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1-car garage. Built in 1958, and it's 1,425 square feet. So we've got, let's take a little peek down here on the details of this property. We have some comps that are right in the neighborhood. So as you're looking on this little map, there's railroad tracks that divide on the map. And I know it's hard to see if you're on a mobile device, but there's kind of these railroad tracks that are dividing there. So I want to stay on the one side of the tracks. You know the saying, the good side and the bad side of the tracks? Well, when you're doing comps, you want to comp on your side of the tracks versus the other side of the tracks. Same thing with like a major road or something like that. So there's a property that's really close to us that went under contract. This one is in our neighborhood. It's 3107 Caroline. Place looks nice, a little dated. I know that this property does have a basement, and this one is 1,558 square feet, so a little bit bigger. 3 beds, 3 baths, 2-car garage. It's got some pluses to us that we don't have. So not an exact comp. We'd have to make some adjustments all the way through and through to make this property work as a comparable, but it is in the neighborhood, so I'm going to take a quick look at it. So we got another property here. This property looks a lot more like the subject property. Again, it's a little bit larger. It does have a basement on the property, and we don't have the basement. So this one sold for $235,000. So I'd want to take the $15,000 off just out of the gate, just based on us not having a basement and our comparable having a basement. The property overall on the inside is in good shape, looks nice. It's a attractive property inside and out. I'd say some nice updates and today's style. So this one just really recently closed a couple days ago. So a great comp for us at $235,000. So this one was 1,616 square feet. It sold for $235,000. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths with a 2-car garage, 1 story, and it sold in 44 days. So again, a pretty quick sale, and I like to see that. Both of these sales have been real recent, and let's just kind of keep going through the neighborhood and seeing if we can find anything else that's very close to the subject. I've got a comp here that's across the way that's a little too far out of our neighborhood. As we go down, there's another one that's sold. It looks to be very similar to the subject property. Okay, so we've got another one here. that is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,452 square feet, and this property sold for $219,000. And it's got, again, let's look at just some of the specs down here and see what the subject property is. 1,452 square feet, 3 beds, 2 baths, 2-car garage, 1 story. I got to kind of dig in and find out, does it have a basement? Yes, it does have a basement. So again, another comp here that has a basement. So a lot of the properties do have basements, the subject does not. So looking at this property, the subject property, knowing that it's listed for $169,900, I'm going to have to probably get this property somewhere. I would look at it as a rental property, number one, because it's in the Plainfield School District. To do it as a buy, fix, up, and sell, I can't see this property working for that, but as a rental property, I absolutely can. It's got those Plainfield schools. It's got the 3-bed count. And for you and I, this is a very, very easy property to, number one, fix up, clean up, and get it into rentable condition. I would likely spend less than $12,000 just looking at the few photos I have to get it into good rentable condition. And a property like this rents for about $2,000 a month. So this is pretty darn good. So as a buy, fix, up, and sell, no, I'm not interested in the property. But as a buy, fix, up, and rent, I could buy this property, get it fixed up lightly, get it rented, and I can cash out refinance with our banks. So as always, if you have any more questions, don't hesitate to give me a call on these properties. And always check out our website, chaseforeclosure.com.